From Zimbabwe comes a world exclusive from our own Maxwell Chikumbutso, the genius inventor who runs a bus that runs on thin air. That's right, this bus doesn't run on diesel or petrol, it runs on nothing. Yes, it's powered by air that is drawn in through the front of the vehicle and pushed out the back to propel it forward. But how is this even possible? Well, we're about to find out. And here is the incredible device itself. Let's get up close and personal and see just how this crazy contraption actually works. There is an intake pipe that goes right through the middle of this bus, which is then connected to a turbine at the back of the vehicle. Now, you might have seen one of these turbines before, but let me explain what it does. Essentially, the turbine takes in air and then forces that air through a nozzle at the back of the vehicle, thus propelling the car forward. But wait a second. We all know that when we blow air, it doesn't push us forward. In fact, if you're trying to walk forward and you start blowing air backwards, you'll simply fall over on your face. So how can this bus be propelled forward when air is literally being pushed out of the back? Well, let's go back to the intake pipe that sucks in air at the front of the vehicle. Inside of this pipe is a one-way valve, which only allows air to pass through in one direction. As soon as the engine starts to suck in air, that one-way valve closes. So now the only way for air to escape the engine is through the nozzle at the back of the car, thus pushing the vehicle forward. So essentially, the more air that is sucked in through the front of the car, the faster the bus will go. But where is all of this air coming from? Surely a bus can't just run on thin air. And that's exactly right. It turns out that this bus does not run on thin air, but rather it runs on slightly less thin air. If you take a trip to the countryside, you'll notice something very strange. There are hardly any cars on the road, yet there is still plenty of air in the atmosphere. Less traffic means less pollution, which means the air is far less dense. So while you may think this bus runs on thin air, that isn't really true. Rather, it runs on less dense air than what you find in cities like Harare, where the capital of Zimbabwe is. The bus will perform better in places with less air pollution. That's why Maxwell decided to create a device that would help him travel in style between his farm in the countryside and the capital city. His dream was to create a device that could cut down on his fuel costs. Because let's face it, traveling to and from the city every day is expensive. The pipe had to be strong enough to withstand the pressure of the air inside of the car, and the turbine had to be durable enough to spin thousands of times without breaking down. He also needed to develop a powerful enough motor that could collect enough air to keep the bus moving. All of this took time, lots of time. But eventually, he got it right. But the story of how Maxwell came up with this idea is even crazier. It all started with a simple bicycle pump. One day he was pumping up the tires of his bike and realized that the air was rushing in very easily. He then looked at his car and thought, well, why can't I do the same thing? What if I could invent a system that would allow my car to breathe in air and propel me forward? The problem was he didn't know anything about turbines or engines, so he had no idea where to start. But he was a farmer, and farmers are pretty handy with machines. So he set about tinkering and experimenting with different ideas, until finally he came up with a working prototype. The first model wasn't much to look at, but it worked, sort of. It was basically a 10-foot-long piece of pipe that went from the front of his car to the back. It wasn't very efficient, but it did move the car forward a few miles per hour. That's when he decided to go all in and spend the next 2 years perfecting his design. When he finally finished, he had created something truly amazing, a bus that could run on air. But as you can imagine, the local authorities weren't too keen on issuing him a license to drive this crazy machine on public roads. After all, they had never seen anything like it before. But Maxwell was determined to prove that his bus was safe and efficient. So he took it for a spin around the city, much to the shock and surprise of everyone who saw it. The bus was able to reach speeds of up to 60 miles per hour, all without making a single stop for fuel. That's when the government finally caved and gave him permission to operate his bus on public roads. But you probably won't be seeing this bus anytime soon, because there's one major problem. It can only carry one person, Maxwell himself. At the moment, he uses the bus to travel between his farm and the city, but he dreams of one day creating a larger version that could carry many more passengers. However, he's unsure how to go about this, as increasing the size of the bus would also increase the amount of air needed to keep it moving. That's why he is currently working on a smaller version of the bus that could be used in homes or offices. This way people would be able to breathe in the air around them and use it to power small devices. Maxwell is also working on ways to improve the efficiency of his bus, as it currently only reaches speeds of up to 60 miles per hour. But he believes that with a few tweaks here and there, he could get it up to 80 miles per hour or more. When asked why he wanted to build such a strange device, Maxwell replied, "I wanted to save money on fuel and also help reduce pollution. Who knows? Maybe one day we can use air power to run all of our vehicles." This invention has been met with mixed reactions, with some people praising Maxwell for his ingenuity and others criticizing him for wasting his time on such a pointless project. However, Maxwell is undeterred and continues to work on improving his invention, hoping that one day it will change the world. The technology behind Maxwell's bus is truly fascinating, and it shows what can be accomplished when someone is passionate about their work. By harnessing the power of air, He has created a unique and innovative way to travel that could potentially revolutionize the way we use energy. While the current version of the bus may have its limitations, Maxwell's plans for the future are truly exciting. As he continues to work on improving the efficiency and speed of his invention, who knows what other possibilities may arise. Whether his bus becomes a successful mode of transportation or remains a one-of-a-kind curiosity, Maxwell's dedication to his craft is an inspiration to us all. What do you guys think of Maxwell's amazing invention? Would you ride in his bus? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Thanks for watching. This is incredible. Now, there was a lot of skepticism in the comments section about this device and its ability to run for 8 hours without refueling. And now we have actual footage of this man and his invention running for a full 24 hours. We are going to show you the pictures and also listen to an interview with the inventor himself where he explains how exactly this amazing machine works. And let's get into the video. Before we get into the video, please support us by subscribing and hitting the like button. And if you can, please support us on Patreon. The link will be down below. Your support helps us bring more interesting videos like this one. Thank you. Here is the incredible engine that runs on nothing. It looks like a jet engine, but it's not a jet engine. A jet engine needs fuel to run. It needs kerosene or some sort of petroleum product to run. But this is not the case with this engine. This engine runs on thin air, on ambient air. It sucks in air, compresses it, and then uses it to generate power. It sucks in air, compresses it, and then uses it to generate power. He says that the fuel that powers this bus is contained within the air itself. He just needs to extract it. How does he do that? That's what we are going to see. He has been working on this project for 20 years, and finally, he has succeeded. Finally, he has managed to build an engine that runs on ambient air for an unlimited amount of time. Because air is everywhere, and we can always find new ways to compress it. Here it is, the final prototype. And I must say, it looks very good. It looks very professional. He has done a great job with it, so let's watch this video. And if you remember in our last video, we said that he had already run this engine for 8 hours, and it didn't consume any fuel. Well, in this video, he is going to run it for 24 hours non-stop. So let's see if it really runs for 24 hours without refueling. I think it will. But in the comments section of our last video, many people were saying that this engine could not possibly run for 8 hours, let alone 24 hours. They said that it needed fuel, and that there was no way it could run for so long without refueling. Let's watch. It starts. It takes a few minutes to start and warm up, and then it is ready to go. Once it's started, it doesn't need any maintenance. Just look at that. It's been running for 1 hour, and it still hasn't consumed any fuel. 3 hours? 4 hours? 5 hours? 6 hours? 7 hours? 8 hours? 9 hours? 10 hours? It's already running for 10 hours, and it hasn't consumed any fuel yet. Here is the inventor of this engine. He is explaining how it works. He says that he takes the air molecules, he heats them, and then he uses the heat to create a vortex, which generates electricity. He says that the fuel that powers his bus is contained within the air itself. He just needs to extract it. How does he do that? By compressing the air? When he compresses the air, he creates a vortex which generates electricity. This is how his engine works. It may sound complicated, but it's actually quite simple. He simply takes in air, heats it, creates a vortex, and generates electricity. This is why his bus can run for such a long time. It literally runs on thin air. It's been running for 12 hours and it still hasn't consumed any fuel. It's incredible. He says that the idea came to him in a dream. He dreamt of a world where people would no longer have to worry about running out of gas or oil. He dreamt of a world where everyone could have access to clean, renewable energy. And that's when he decided to invent this engine. He wanted to create something that would help people all over the world. And now his dream has come true. His engine is powered by the air around us, which means that it is completely free to use. No one will ever have to pay for gas or oil again. Everyone will be able to use this engine to power their homes, their businesses, their cars. This is truly a gift to humanity. It's been running for 15 hours and it still hasn't consumed any fuel. What a gift to humanity. This man has given us a way to power our world without having to pollute it. His engine does not produce any emissions, which means that we can use it without having to worry about global warming. This is the kind of innovation that we need in our world today. He says that his engine is also very efficient. It can convert up to 90% of the energy in air into usable electricity. This means that we can use this engine to generate enough power to run our entire planet. There will never be another energy crisis again. It's been running for 18 hours, and it still hasn't consumed any fuel. It's incredible. In the last video, we showed you a demonstration of this engine. The inventor had built a small version of it that could run on a table. In that video, he showed us how the engine worked by putting a balloon over the intake pipe. As the engine ran, the balloon expanded because the engine was sucking in air. When he removed the balloon, the engine stopped. This showed us that the engine was really running on air. It wasn't cheating by using any other fuel source. It's been running for 21 hours, and it still hasn't consumed any fuel. It's incredible. In the last video, We also showed you the first prototype of this engine. It was much smaller than the current version, and it could only run for a few seconds at a time, but it was still impressive because it proved that the engine could work. This first prototype was built with scrap materials. The inventor had to make parts out of old car engines and other junk. But he was determined to succeed, and his hard work paid off. It's been running for 24 hours, and it still hasn't consumed any fuel. This is a true miracle. This is an incredible achievement. The inventor says that he plans to continue working on this engine. He wants to make it even more efficient and more powerful. He also wants to share his invention with the world so that others can benefit from it. I think this is an amazing invention. I think it has the potential to change the world. It's been running for 25 hours, and it still hasn't consumed any fuel. I hope that one day soon we can all use this engine to power our lives. I think it's an amazing invention. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media. We will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. It's been running for 26 hours and it still hasn't consumed any fuel. It's been running for 27 hours and it still hasn't consumed any fuel. It's been running for 28 hours and it still hasn't consumed any fuel. It's been running for 29 hours and it still hasn't consumed any fuel. It's been running for 30 hours and it still hasn't consumed any fuel.